Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday live stream. So today, pretty good day, quite honestly. We've got some really positive news and some things that where we should be going. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. So today, we were having quite a bit of a slugfest between the Bears and the Bulls. And the Bears were winning over the weekend, and then of course, Monday rolls around. I was concerned to see who was actually going to pick up the slack. And it looks like it was done by the ETF participants. And I had my reservations about the ETF holders, the ETF buyers, because we know that the BlackRocks, the Fidelity, the Grayscales, they're going to go out there, they're going to try to educate their clients as much as possible, but it's kind of tough to really get that idea out. But it looks like they've done a home run of a job. So just yesterday, these are Bitcoin flows from July 8th. What's noticeable to me is that Grayscale, I guess, didn't get the memo about the bull run being canceled, and we were going to go into 12K, and it was going to be awful and everything else because they bought the majority. Fidelity second place with 1,000 Bitcoin, but there's another player in the game which I did not have in my bingo card, and that'd be Grayscale. Now, as we know, Grayscale has been doing quite a bit of dumpage, of offloading their Bitcoin positions, and rightfully so, especially if they wanted to either take profits or get out of the situation and go into another type of ETF. But yesterday was one of those days that just showed you that how much resiliency the market actually has. So you had 445 of Grayscale participants buying that Bitcoin ETF with a total net flows of 5,528. Now that is total net flows between the positive and negatives. And we saw quite a bit of an increase, 252,000 on July 5th, which would be Friday, to 257. So 5,000 Bitcoins have been gobbled up by these ETFs. Right now, you are looking at the ETFs hold roughly around 1 million Bitcoin or something around there. That is 5%. And I see things moving forward. Now, that's not just these ETFs, that's global ETFs. So I see that ETFs gobbling up another, 5% to be a total of 10%. And who knows where that goes. But I was just interested and curious to see how things were going. And we can see that the inflows and the maximum net flows doesn't really total to price. Because if you're looking at the top or the peak of the actual inflows for these ETFs, that would be on June 7th. And if we take a look at June 7th, over here, we can see that that was not the top. Actually, keep going back and back and back. Hold on, that's what I'm looking at. June 7th. 6, 7, 71,000. So it wasn't the absolute top. We actually hit 73,000 at some point. So there's always the factors in plays. We talk about that as far as sell pressure and the sell pressure indicators, or the sell pressure things that are going on in the background, which could be liquidations, cascading liquidations, could be bots, could be the whales moving, buying and selling, manipulating the market. And that's really just what it comes down to. So this is good news. Like to see where this is going, but it just seemed like, last night when I was taking a look at things, Monday was one of those days where we had a nice push, and then around halfway through the day, around 12 o'clock or so, we were at 55,000. But I think it's kind of just broke out as far as the information of what was happening from Monday, and then people started buying up like crazy. I think we peaked out around 57.8. So again, the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. And we can see that over time that there is quite a resiliency in who is buying Bitcoin. This isn't dumb money. I'm not going to say this is smart money. I'll say it's big money. And big money tends to do things that normal people can't do. I like to see where we're going. And again, I think we're in the right place at the right time. Anyhow, let me just think about that in the comments section. And then also some good news, which take it with a grain of salt. But this was a report from Dennis Porter. And he says, huge breaking news, the National Republic Party. If you're not from America, we've pretty much got two-party system, Democrats and Republicans. We have independents, but they win some seats here and there, but they're not a huge major factor. But he says the GOP adds Bitcoin rights to their party platform, supports the ban of CBDCs. Now, why I bring this up is a couple of instances. It's because it's not just a presidential candidate who's coming out and saying, hey, I want most of the Bitcoin mining to be done here. I want most of the cryptocurrency and digital assets to be brought in America and not go overseas for a big brain drain. This is what I want. This is what a presidential candidate says. His name is Trump. But this is the entire Republican Party now coming forward. And this is exactly what they said. So this is their addendum to what they're going to do. And in the last piece here, as far as championing innovation, it states this: Republicans will end Democrats' unlawful and un-American crypto crackdown and oppose the creation of a central bank digital currency. Let me say that again. They're going to oppose a CBDC. They're going to stop this ridiculous crypto crackdown made famous by Senator Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts. They say we will defend the right to mine Bitcoin, ensure every American has the right to self-custody of their digital assets, which, of course, the SEC is suing Consensus and MetaMask for what they're doing as far as being a legal broker-dealer. I think that plays in a part there. And transact free from government surveillance and control. Look, if you're into Bitcoin, I don't know what to tell you as far as like who to vote for, because I can't do that. But I can say with 100%, say 100%, nothing's 100%, but I can say for, in politics, of course, it is what it is, right? Politicians are liars. We know they are. But they want to get voted for. They want to get voted in. And if they see which way the political winds are a-blowing, and there's a lot of people out there that want crypto, Bitcoin, digital assets to move forward, they will champion those. But also, I think there are some good people out there who take a look at this and go, you know what, this is the core values of the American principles. We would like them to come forward. We would like them to have freedom. We want to get out of the way of this government surveillance and move forward. I like that. So this is an entire party. This isn't a presidential candidate, one individual saying this. This is a party moving forward saying this is what they will do. Having said all that, Anthony Scaramucci, the Mooch, comes out and says, look, and he's right. Bitcoin is in the GOP platform. The Democrats have really fumbled the ball on this. If you're not familiar with Anthony Scaramucci, the Mooch, he was the press secretary for Donald Trump for a small amount of time. And he, for whatever happened. And he is not one to mince words about the positivity of the Republican Party or the Republican Party candidate. So when he said stuff like this and says the Democrats messed up, they messed up. And they're going to keep messing up. And that's what we have. So I do like to see what this is. I do like this in the right direction. And again, some people will say, well, this is negative because this will push the bipartisan agenda. No, it won't. Here's what's going to happen, in my personal opinion. In these different elections, if crypto and digital assets becomes one of those hallmark pieces of information and moving people forward, and they believe that their constituents, the people who are trying to get actually voted in, senators or House of Representatives people, are going, hey, we're losing seats because people aren't backing crypto. We need to back crypto. We need to stop this nonsense with, going as a championing CBDCs and championing to go against all these crypto companies. And we need to actually move out of this area and actually champion this because we're losing seats. If this happens in these round of elections, that's what'll happen. Anyhow, let me just think about that in the comments section. And let's wrap this up with a little macro. So if you don't know, CPI inflation report is coming out on Thursday. Everybody's favorite report. I gotta tell you, before I got into crypto, I had no idea what these reports were. And now all of a sudden, I am watching stuff like Jerome Powell do a live conference in front of a Senate committee meeting. So that's going on right now. I linked in the description. You can see what he's talking about. But here's what's happening. On Thursday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics report on the Consumer Price Index due Thursday is expected to show that the widely watched measure of inflation, which rose 3.1% over the year, down from 3.3%, which the annual increase in May, is going to have updated information. If the report matches expectations, it would help confirm that inflation has resumed its descent after an uptick. But of course, remember, the Fed wants 2% target rates. As inflation cools, the Fed may turn its attention from fighting inflation to preventing a sharp economic slowdown. What that means is as such. Jerome Powell's coming out, and in that press conference, he's saying stuff like, we just need to find some more good data. If we find some good data, and it actually says that we're actually reducing the amount of the rate of inflation, we will cut rates. That's really what it comes down to. You can follow Ben over in the CRYPTOVERSE. He's watching this because apparently he likes watching and commenting. That's his thing. And he did state in this is that Powell states, this is no longer an overheated economy. Take that as you will. And just for clarity, this is where we have as far as the target rate probability of cutting for the next meeting on 31st of July. Right now, the current target rate is 525 to 550. They ain't cutting in July. So even if this report comes out and it's good, there's a very slim chance that they cut. However, if you go to September, you can see that it's almost a 70% chance that they actually cut. Once they start cutting, then of course, we will see rates come down, the market's like that. Then of course, there's a little bit of hiccups in the economy or whatever happens in the interim. Now we start to turn on the money printer. There's one thing that Bitcoin and crypto and markets like in general is, first of all, rates cuts. And second of all, is quantitative easing or money printing. And once that happens, then I think we start to see some big things. But again, I never thought that this summer would be like a fantastic, huge boom. Maybe, I hope I'm wrong. I don't think we're going to get anywhere until after a presidential election in November. But again, right direction, right place, right time. And as a reminder, these CPI numbers, they come out essentially every month, usually by the second week or so. And that's it for today. So look, like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Also, if you could find it in your hearts, we're also doing the fundraiser this month for Adri. This is for the animal shelter that we work with, Amigos de los Animales here in Puerto Rico. And they're trying to, actually Audrey herself is, of course, she donated her house to the shelter. Now she's looking to expand for a second level. So there's a link in the description. If you are up on your crypto and you've taken some profits like I told you to, then maybe you should think about donations. That's it. So that's it for today, everybody. So look, if you got to take off, take off. Again, there's a link in the description. You can watch Jerome Powell at the committee meeting. Fantastic. Great gripping stuff. Or if you want to stick around, we'll do a little AMA. I'll answer all your questions, and then we'll go from there. So, everybody. Bot says, good afternoon. Are we wrecked yet? We were going there. I got to tell you, I did not think that the ETFs would hold up like this. I was pretty certain, actually. I thought, well, I don't know how much education that the Fidelities and the BlackRocks and Grayscale has given to their clients about how good Bitcoin can be. I thought they would have done like the minimum and just done like the number go up type of thing. But they must have done some pretty good education, because if you've got Fidelity, BlackRock, and BlackRock bought mass, I think it was the fourth largest time frame of how much they bought. Correct me in the comments. They did a good job. And if we would have seen an outflow in those ETFs, I think we would have gone somewhere around the 50K mark. We didn't. Here we are. So it was a good day. We got that. CPI numbers looks to be cooling off, and also that Republican Party piece we talked about. Pretty good. And let's see. 72% yesterday. Interesting. Good morning. Good morning. Irrational. Panda Phi. He says, I remember once you said your wife was killing it with only Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Do you know what were the percentage allocations? Not for sure, but it was most of it. I think she had some Dogecoin as well. But she took some profits, and she was pretty happy. Of course, she always thinks when she looks at her portfolio, it's going to magically go up another 20%, but it doesn't. So the one time that she, not the one time, but the time that she took her profits, I can't remember if it was March or May, but she took like 20% off the top. And I was like, oh, do what you got to do. And then, of course, after that, everything just kind of went down. And now it's even farther down. So she's like, well, glad I took those profits. Yeah, good job. I should have taken more, true. but I took enough. I'm okay. It is a nice green screen. It's one of the best. It's an original digital asset news green screen. And have faith in the future. That's crypto is Bitcoin at a minimum. Yeah. At least Bitcoin. William says, no altcoin season this cycle. Hope you got some Bitcoin sleep tight. Yeah, I think altcoins will do just fine. Depending on what time frame you're talking about. If you're talking about the summer, yeah, probably not. If you're talking about the cycle that goes until, you know, November 2025, I think I'll be okay. Could be wrong. Ugh. Just saw a disturbing post. I can't talk about that. Chris Christie on the lips. Ugh. Edward says, my wife is a real estate maxi. How did you get your better half to look into crypto? Because I'm talking about it constantly. That's why. And that's the issue. And she just kind of gets suckered into it, I think. Roy says, I'm going for my second million never made at first. This could be it. I always thought this would be the big, bull market. Not the, I think we kind of got screwed out of the 2021s. A says, what is a selfie of Yellen? I don't think it was a Yellen type of thing. No, that wasn't the comment. The comment was the Chris Christie in the lips. Ugh. Chris Christie, what happened to that guy? Wonder if he's going to support the nominees. I wonder. Let me take a look at something real quick, everybody. As I'm looking. Go ahead and put those comments or those questions below. Wow. 400 to 1200. Third. There's other places. I got into a social media trolling argument this week about Trump and Biden. In the end, we conclude nothing. Yeah. Politic talk is a sucker's dilemma, sucker's game. I think because like no one will ever win those conversations. I just say, hey, you know, here's who I can see looks pretty positive for crypto, and here's who's not. But that's not all the issues that you need to take a look at. Obviously, I can't tell you who to vote for. I can't vote for I can't vote for a presidential candidate anyhow. I'm in Puerto Rico, so do what you got to do. Red Panda Pie says, what's going on with ADA? They're doing the Chang hard fork. Yes, my team for the DNU stake pool informed me about that, said they are upgrading. I read there was a major node release, 9.0, as part of Volterra. Will this change anything for ADA? I don't know. I read this little snippet about what Charles Hoskinson said. He said that, let me get the quote so I don't misquote. And of course, there's more to the story, obviously. You can't just take it out of context, but, you know. I was going to, okay. Oh, yeah. Cardano's node 9.0 paves the way for a transformative Chang hard fork. Hoskin said Chang will help the network to become the most. Charles Hoskin said says the Chang upgrade the Chang hard fork will help the network, it's the same thing, will help the network to become the most scalable ecosystem in 24 months. Let me say that again. Charles Hoskinson says Chang will help the network, Cardano network, to become the most scalable ecosystem in 24 months. Node 9.0 basically means Cardano has the best, most decentralized, and I hope the most effective decentralized government in the entire crypto industry. 24 months. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, could work out great. Who knows? Chat's DeFi space. Hello, everyone. I was at the live stream at the end. Busy family guy. Trust me, family first, right? Yeah, Slim Cat said, if the 3-issue protocol face our interoperability, centralization, and governance, ADA or ADA will be the first to solve the governance issue properly. Let's hope so. Let's see what happens. Peter says, hey, Rob, thanks for hanging out with us at the end of the world. Have you seen Rob Powell's vision and Rob Powell's everything code? Any thoughts? No, I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's great. Haven't seen what he's talking about. Charles talks a lot. Delivery is lacking. My bag of ADA is sad. Gosh, I hope ADA doesn't become the XRP of the world, huh? XRP holders, sorry. You guys really got screwed. I mean, not to say that it can't come back, but it's been how long? And it hasn't hit anywhere near its all-time highs. And I understand the SEC, you know, and the suing and all that stuff, but ooh, it's tough. Marty says, how was John Deaton doing his run for Senate or anything? Haven't seen any poll numbers, so we'll see. That's not till November, I think. I would like to see those numbers, actually. See how he's doing. Joel says, whale alert. Over 12,000 Bitcoin moved from unknown wallet to unknown wallet. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe it's just Mr. 100 gearing up for his next big move. Dr. Bydip says, what do you trade? I don't trade like short term. It's pretty long term in cycles, looking at like 4-year cycles. And then when things become overheated, which if you're looking at the indicators I look at, it's a link in the description where I talk about the 80% of the cryptos I'm going to sell. But I don't really trade too much at all because my experience is limited and I don't like to have too much stress because it can become stressful. Let's see. Yeah, Bod says it right. I really want Cardano to be good. They're on the good side, it's true, but the price action has not been that great or good. This will be their first cycle with smart contracts. Yeah, let's see, man. You know, I hold Cardano. I want it to do well. We're a stake pool operator, and I want them to do great. It's just delivering. Mr. 100 is the Upbit exchange. I wonder if that's true. My next big move was barbecue and beer with Dan Famine, though. PR. It's nice here right now, I'll tell you that. A lot of traveling coming up, though. God, Lord. Bro, your thoughts on underrated blockchains like C, Squeeze, Mina, CeeLo? No opinion on any of those. I think I own a little bit of Sui just to get some exposure, but that's it. I don't know how well they're going to do, but like I said before, usually everything does pretty good as far as price appreciation in the blow-off bull market because everything goes up. So just depends on which one's going to go up the most. That's the big question. And of course, risk versus reward. Oh no. Voyager went up 12% today earlier. Can't believe people are trading that garbage. Voyager and FTT or FTX. What could have been. I used to love the platform Voyager. So the user interface was great. Really liked it. They just did the boneheaded thing. That's the thing about all these projects we talk about. No one really knows. Nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe the other projects that we just talked about, maybe they just gave a $640 million uncollateralized loan to Three Arrows Capital for whatever reason, like Voyager did, which caused them to collapse. So who knows? Spam says 10 coin feels due for a dump. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you take a look at, there's a website. It's coingolive.com. And out of the top 100, ton is the one closest from its all-time high. The percent drop from its all-time high is only 11.76%, almost 12%. That's it. That's pretty good. And I mean, of course, stable coins are gonna beat it, but yeah. I mean, it could, but man, it's doing a lot of things, a lot of good things. Anyhow, watch my video on. I did a ton deep dive. Tell me what you think. Thanks for saving to the Voyager fiasco with your channel that caused me to withdraw my stake. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for listening. I said 2 weeks before, I'm like, you cannot give an uncollateralized loan with that much. Golly. Glad somebody listened. Let's see. Ooh, wow. Digital assets. Sold Dream Estate House in 2020 for $650K. Wow. All in crypto. Buying house in 18 months. Cycles work. Yeah, cycles work. Rob, have you used Colin Talks Crypto? No, but I know Colin. I don't know him personally, but. Oh, let's see. COL. Well, I see his website's very good. CBDI historical chart. Let's see. What's that? So this is the indicator. Confidence we're at the peak, 63. The CBI is a Bitcoin index. It yields advanced real-time analysis of 9 metrics. Helps understand what stage of the Bitcoin bull run and bear market we in. All right, this is interesting. CBDI historical chart. CBDI confidence. That's pretty interesting. 82. I wonder what the 9 indicators are. That'd be interesting. That'd be good to see. So like over here, it is good because like in this, let's say you take, I'm guessing this is 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay. Well, if you sold at 70 or above, you're doing pretty good. Yeah, maybe not. 29,000. How about 90 or above? Now you have to scale out around 80. That's pretty neat. Yeah, let's check it out. ColinTalksCrypto.com. That's a good one. Thanks. Yeah, Amy says, Rob loved Voyager. I did love Voyager. Good company. Till they weren't. It's like everything. It's like the people that that let you down. Like, yeah, I was a great friend until he wasn't. Yeah. Rob, do you like paying cash for any of your properties? No. But, for these investment properties, it's like you either got to pay cash or you get outbid these days. Anyhow, are you comfortable with loans? Yeah, comfortable. Loans are no problem. I mean, if the original owner is willing to wait, just curious in your philosophy with debt. You have to go. I know, like some other people will say, debt is awful. Debt isn't bad. Debt isn't bad. Look at the way that the uber rich do it. It's a term called buy, borrow, die, right? So they buy assets, or they have assets, they borrow against them, meaning that they're in debt, and they just let that ride until they die. And then people will say, well, how do they pay back the debt? They just take an even bigger loan. And then how do they pay that off? They pay an even bigger loan. And then when they die, they have different things in trusts, and it doesn't get carried over to their kids. So if you want to learn more about that, there's tax representatives that can help you. But yeah, debt is not so much of an issue, just depending on how much you're taking on as versus for what kind of cash flow you can actually have. That's the big thing. And of course, that depends on what you're buying. Are the assets that you're buying, are they price appreciative? Like say real estates, like say lands? Not a lot of times. And what are you doing with those real estate? Is it short-term or long-term rentals? Are you just buying it to flip it? Are the assets that you're buying precious metals? And how are they appreciating or not? Or are you just having them for a store of value? It's a whole different thing of how you do things. That's why on YouTube and social media, no one give you advice. Nobody. Because no one knows what you're doing. Yeah. Functionality of the front end doesn't always translate to the back end. Yeah, all things says, I hope we can get our Voyager money back. That'd be nice. That would be nice. Terrible. Yes, Andre, you made it. Ta-da. Where's our four-legged friend? She's sleeping right over there, matter of fact. Roadless Explorer. Notcoin. Yeah, Notcoin. I wonder... Let's take a look. How are they doing? Notcoin is still in the top 75, 57. Shoot. Look at that. All right. Okay. Not too bad. I mean, it's at 2 cents. Over here, it's at 0.016. So it's down a little bit, but I mean, to come out of nowhere and do that, that's pretty good. Off a clicker game on Telegram. Pretty crazy, right? Dr. Baidu says 250,000 by February. Sounds good. I'll take it. I always like predictions. It gives you hope. Smokey says, hey, Rob Levy Show, what's your thoughts on Solana SPL tokens? Which are the tokens essentially in the ecosystem? For example, Sol Casino, lots of products have good track records like them. Sol Casino, I mean, it's, first of all, on YouTube, it goes against our terms and conditions to talk about gambling, which is funny because we talk about meme coins. Da-da-da. But with Sol Casino, that's one of those things. It's like, you know, it's a gamble coin. If you're into that, it could do well, but I haven't really gotten to anything like that. I do like other projects that are building around Solana, whether that be SPLs or not, but like Hive Mapper and Helium seem to be pretty well. And then what is the I always thought that Solana would, you know, have would need an oracle like with Pith, and Pith would do good, but it hasn't really done too great so far. So I like stuff like that. I like things that actually have function and do stuff. Like with Hive Mapper, it actually does something. It's actually mapped out, I want to say 23% of the globe so far. It's pretty good. Let's take a look, actually. There's a website called hivemapper.com. Yeah, global coverage, 23%. You just buy this little device. It's essentially like being like a Google Map driver. And yeah, you can map it all out and you actually get rewards. I think the rewards have been dropping a little bit, but sure. All right. And then of course, Helium already has their telecommunications up and going. So yeah. And then let's see. So for Helium Mobile, I think it's only 20. Oh, it can't be Helium. Let's see what the phone plan is. I wonder. Get your phone plan. $20. Wow. But the nation's largest 5G network, mobile store, secure app. It's pretty funny. Group plans, international roaming. So yeah, $20 a month. That's something. How many projects have you invested into that don't do jack? I'm guilty too, right? Digital said, well, where does all the liquidity come from? The honey royalty paid for use of HiveMap Cam. It's the same thing for all the people that get the that sell the data for Google Maps. If you map something out, then you can share that, or you can sell that to, where do you see a lot of that data being used? Well, in every car, I don't know, out in the United States and outside, every car that you get nowadays, it has some kind of built-in map system, right? And they have to pay somebody for that. So guess who they're getting screwed over with? Well, not screwed over, but they got to pay massive amount to Google Maps and their API integration. What if you could say, hey, I want to do half that price, and I want to use some kind of data that actually HiveMapper has? That'd probably be where they actually get that. So I'm not 100% sure of where the other pieces of it, I could see where that could actually come into play. I have a problem with Pyth. I don't understand why there is no volume in the charts, and also tokens are often limited with delay in Pyth for the moment. It's something to be concerned about, actually, if there's no volume. Let's see. Pyth network. Yeah, 56,485,000. That's something. But yeah, you're right. Not too much. And he says, hey, Rob, tell us how a veteran, myself, can vote for a draft dodger who says military service is for losers. Look, he already came out and said that was a fabricated story. As far as like a draft dodger, well, yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where you have to take yourself, like, is it because of that he was doing it? And I'm going to, first of all, I can't vote for him. So if that's your two biggest concerns about him being a draft dodger and military service is for losers, he's already said that's debunked that. He's already said he didn't say that. But if you want to keep believing it, that's fine. And of course, everybody else will start to say, what about January 6th? And what about the insurrection? About things? All that stuff has been talked about to death. So I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I'm just telling you, if you really think that Joe Biden is going to be the best person for this United States, go right ahead and vote for him. And of course, if you're going to go down that route, we know that he has something wrong with him. And if that's the case, then who's really in control? It's not Joe Biden. Whew. So that's about that. He lies a lot. So does every politician. Shocker. Yeah. That's right. Adri is very selfless. So again, back to the GoFundMe. So Adri here, she gave up her house 20 years ago. The house that she lived in, she inherited, and she lives in right now for all these dogs. And she's got no place really to go or no place really to stay. And she loves them. She's done this for 2 decades, but she'd like to have her own little nook or place. So they need construction costs. And of course, some of that will actually go, I think, to help the dogs a little bit. I mean, so everything trickles down. So yeah, if you got time, there's a link in the description. Anyhow, that's it for today. So everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive, and that's for that piece. We'll be doing NFA Live this week. This will be on my channel today. And that is it for that. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Great day.